when you joined the cast, the show was already very well established. What was it like joining a cast like that?
It was crazy because I had so many friends who were a fan of this show that I had never really seen. So I had a very short amount of time to marathon all of it. So I watched all 3 seasons in one weekend. And then I showed up to the table read and I was obsessed. So I went from being like, oh yeah, I'm on this show, to being like, oh my god, this is the best show on television. I went from being to not knowing anything to being an instant fangirl. And then I got to go to work and I was at the table read. I was like walking around. I was like, oh my god, it's Lafayette. And you know, Nelson, who plays Lafayette, is a straight man. I mean, he's like, hey, it's nice to meet you. It's like a guy's guy. And I was like, it was really cool. And you always worry because nobody knows you and you really want to step up to the occasion and you want to, you just want to be great, and they are just so willing to answer any question you have, and they're so welcoming. So it was much less intimidating once I actually stepped on stage. My first day of work was the scene where she's like sitting in the chair and she's like, I was trying to seduce you, Sam, that whole thing. My second day of work was that scene where we're like completely naked. Day 2 of work. Not awkward, completely awkward. Freezing cold for 14 hours. Freezing. That sucked. But other than that, still fun. And the director was fantastic too. He really held my hand through it. He was great.
Well, being a super dad, I have very little time, and I haven't watched Trueblood. So, can you convince me to watch Trueblood?
I don't think I need to. Look around. How awesome is the show? You need to get yourself some DVDs, my friend. They're all over the place. This is what I can tell you is my favorite part about the show, the humor. It's really funny. Yes, it's gory, people explode. Yes, it's really sexy. What's not to like? There's something in it for everybody. And also, you're gonna laugh out loud at least once every episode. Right? Right. Next.
How do you want your character to evolve?
I want to see Luna. Well, Luna had a pretty badass season 5, right? Without spoiling anything, someone got the shit beat out of them by Luna this year. That happened. I'd love to see her. Wow. I'd love to see her stand up for what she believes in. The thing I'm always going to respect about her is that her number one priority is the safety and well-being of her daughter. That will never change. So, I just want to see her be even more badass and protective. I like her the most when she's a mama bear. Yeah.
Could you tell a bit more about future productions that you're going to be in?
Besides Trueblood? Okay. I just did a show last week. It's a comedy called The Goodwin Games. It's a US show and it's on Fox. And there's another American show called The League. I don't know if anyone's seen it. Okay, so let me tell you about this crazy show. It's about 5 assholes who make each other's life hell as they compete for a trophy in a fantasy football league. So it's about a fantasy American football league. And it's all improvised, so we make it up as we go. and they compete for this trophy that has a picture of this girl they went to high school with, and I play her. So it's called The League. It's also on Netflix and the like, Amazon, all these things. It's hilarious and very dirty. So just be warned, okay? It's really funny. And there's some movies, independent movies that I've done, and yeah. Just follow me on Twitter @Janina, Janina. I'm sure I'll tell everybody about everything as we go.
Are we gonna see more about Shiva now that she crushed the league?
Oh, we got a League fan. Yes, you will. Shiva got really angry in last night's episode, 2 nights ago. She got really, really angry, so yeah, we'll see what happens to the League this year. Oh, the twins just keep asking questions. You guys better step up. These 2 ladies who look exactly the same are asking the most questions. I'm not okay with that, so think up some stuff. Come on.
What was your audition like?
Oh, my audition for Trueblood. Oh, man. Okay, so for my audition, first of all, they changed out the name on the scene, so it looked like I was reading with F.A.C.T. So, no, Joe is 6'5". So for my first audition, I had like monster heels on, because I wanted a scene proportionate to him. And then I realized that it was actually with Sam, who's like 5'11", almost 6 foot. So I was like in flats from this. But my audition scenes were my first 2 days of work. So the first one was the laid out scene where she runs off and becomes a horse. And then when she's sitting in the chair and she apologizes and they have their first kiss. So my first audition was just with like 10 producers, and Alan Ball was there. And then my second audition was with Sam. Oh my gosh, okay. I'm just remembering. And it was like me and 2 other girls up for this part at this point, and I was like, I'm gonna get this damn show. No one's gonna take the show away from me. I am Luna. So I walk in, and I'm like, hello, 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 and I see Sam, I shake his hand, and I'm like, so are you ready to make out? And he's like, what? And I said, are you ready to make out with me? And he was very professional. He's like, oh no, it's whatever you want, whatever you feel comfortable with. And I was like, oh yeah, it's happening. And then we did this scene, and we, totally kissed in the middle of the thing. It was a fabulous chemistry kiss between Luna and Sam, and then the scene was over, and then I was like, okay, bye. And I knew. I literally went in there like with a loaded gun. Nobody's taking the show away from me. And it worked, so ta-da. That's my audition. Sometimes you gotta fight for what you want, Next question. Come on, people in the back. Think of something.
Which one of the guys do you like the most?
Which one of the guys do I like the most? Well, it's funny because I've only really worked with Sam and Joe. And of course I love Sam. He's just a dream to work with. He's the nicest, classiest guy. And he's intense, and he's a great actor. Who am I, you know who I'm actually really good friends with now is Hoyt. Hoyt and I are homies. We're always texting, sending each other nonsense. We went to the movies the other day. No, what was it? We didn't go to the movies. We got smoothies the other day. That's what we did. Just talking, shooting the shit. That's what you call it. Yeah. So I mean, everybody on the show is really happy. Alan Ball figured something out. The way to keep everybody really happy is to create a show when everyone can die. Everybody's like, I'm so happy to be here. I'm so happy to be here. I love my job. I'm very happy.
Okay, who wants the last question?
Last question. Oh, last question. Here we go.
How was it like to see the other guys naked?
That's a good last question. What's it like to see all of the other guys naked? Awesome. No, it's never not weird. You know, we're always talking about our terrible diets that we're on. We're always in food jail, where we don't allow ourselves to eat anything bad, and we're constantly working out. I call it the fear diet, because you're so afraid. Like, you're like, what are they gonna make me do this week? I better not eat McDonald's. But it's great, you know, everybody's really supportive on the show. If it seems like we're having fun, it's completely because we are. We love what we do, and we're so happy that you guys love our show. I mean, we put so much work into it, so thank you so much for watching. The next season, you're gonna love it. Anyway,
Ladies and
nice to meet all
gentlemen,
of you guys.
Janina Gavankar. All right, don't go away. We have our next guest star lined up.